though. You already know how I go. Make sure you smash like, subscribe, comment. I don't care what you comment as long as you comment. I see salat to my comrades. I know you somewhere saying ma salam back to me. Salam alaikum to the black men with my palms up, the Nation of Islam. Ma salam alaikum. Do rock mine to the Sunnis. I know you somewhere. I know you somewhere. Sending peace and blessings back to me. Islam to the Mobites. 212. I know you somewhere saying 204 back bloods. You dig what I'm talking? I know you somewhere saying 14 to the G's. I know you somewhere saying 412 back. Mazel Tov Shalom to the Jews. So on and so forth, man. Peace and blessings be upon everybody who real and stay real in the struggle. You dig what I'm talking about? But hey, y'all remember the story I told y'all about a guy waiting in the bathroom for the transgender to come back and go in the room and get on this predator stuff? Now, if y'all remember the original story, even though it was like I think it was like at 200,000 views, I took it down because, you know, people was like, man, why are you making this look like this and that? But I was telling prison stories, bro, and it's just about being real and deterring people from going there and just telling real stories. But I took the original one down. I did it again, but I never mentioned the name. I never mentioned the organization. But he was a part of my organization, the Moore Science Temple of America in the penitentiary. He was a blood spiller. Don't get it twisted. And remember that word blood. Y'all know who I'm talking about if y'all know what I'm talking about. Remember the word blood. Homie was a real hitter. He was 60-some years old. He was my mentor a bit too. He taught me a lot. We used to chill, you know, walk the yard. He used to teach me a lot of stuff, man. Then that day transpired. I went to the hole shortly after, and I had asked him. I was like, bro, why did you do that? Everybody making fun of him or whatever. Even I was making fun of him. And I'm like, bro, why did you do that? He like, well, first I asked, I say, bro, you couldn't have finessed, you couldn't have paid some money, you couldn't have spit some game. Like, bro, you smart as hell. You know, you got the teachings and everything, bro. Like, why would you do something like that, bro? Like, that's crazy. He like, first, bro, he's a sex offender, so it don't matter. Second, if he don't like what happened to him, he shouldn't have came to prison. 3, it's certain things you just can't control, bro. You ever pulled a gun out on somebody and you seen the fear that they had in them and the control you had? Or doing a robbery? I'm like, yeah, I get it, bro, but that don't compare to doing that. And he was like I said, I got control. It's not just about getting the pleasure, but it's the action to get the pleasure. I can't control it. I'm sorry I failed you. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? I did that while you was here, and in my head I'm like, you sorry you did it while I was here. Like, bro, you should be mad or disappointed you did it at all. And then he went on to explain, man, I've been down 40 years. You know, such and such is what I've been into for a while. Times was different back in the day. That's what I'm used to, man. This is my home. You going home, bro. Like I said, you never know how I feel to do something like that until you do it. You can only imagine. Like I gave you the perspective of pulling out a gun on somebody, but imagine 20 times that pleasure. Now I get what he said about pulling a gun out on somebody the first time, or pulling a knife out, like in prison the first time I upped the strap on somebody. They was like, they just froze. They didn't know what to do, and it was like a sense of power and control. But going that far. And you know what was crazy about it? The transgender that he did that to dropped the charges. They put both of them back on the same yard. He went back on the yard. He just served a suspension. And he really wasn't even found guilty of, I'm talking about far as from the brothers, he wasn't even found guilty of doing it because the ticket got threw out. I know he did it. I've told people he did it, but it's like, you know, you might want to watch what you say about dog, because like I said, he a blood spiller, homie. In prison, spilling blood is not equivalent to just being real. Spilling blood is what matters. I don't care if you told on somebody. I don't care if you a predator. I don't care if you get, like, when a dude's spilling blood, that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different animal. And I ain't want to press the issue either, because this guy's been gelling with him 20, 30 years. And they love him to death. But he just did a little sanctions, little exercises, and it was back to normal, bro. They put both of them back on the same yard, and it was just weird, man. And every time the dude, not the dude, the transgender, excuse me, I don't want to disrespect nobody, transgender woman walked past them on the yard, shaking, looking. We was looking and we laughing and making jokes and stuff like that, but you know, that was a serious situation. Prison is a different world. Like a majority of people don't condone that, but like I said, in prison, if a dude a killer, bro, you want to watch what you say about him. I don't care if he told on 30 people. He's still a killer. You know what I'm saying? He don't took 10 eyeballs out since he been in prison. You don't want to just say or put anything on him, bro, if you ain't ready for the consequences that come with that. So I tell people, don't just say somebody a snitch. Don't just say somebody a rat. If you ain't willing to do nothing about it, don't think his brother man's them gonna take care of it because he in the gang. If he vicious, they gonna look for every excuse to say that's not valid. He could have got on the stand and said it was him, and him. They would have been like, well, you know, he only been thugging 10 years. Like I said in Levitt, he only been thugging 10 years. That was his first time encountering the police, so, you know, they ain't really snitching technically. So technically you wrong because you don't know the whole situation. And go get, you know, he end up getting you off the yard and still be on the yard. Still be on the yard walking around with everybody like ain't nothing happened. So you gotta watch what you do for real in the joint, bro. And you know what's even better than knowing this? It's not to even ever go and remember that I told you. Prison put me around some of the most despicable people you could ever imagine. And I've had to accept some of them because they had alliances and affiliations. Like, bro, we mess with them. We mess with their group. They accept him, Who is you? And then when you bring religion into it, it's like everybody can be forgiven. But that's why I love brothers like Charles Sieber Bay. Hope he get out, bro. That's a phenomenal brother. That's my favorite Grand Sheik, Charles Sieber Bay. That was the realest Grand Sheik I ever been around. Him and Doss Bay, Fawzil, Assistant Grand Sheik. Those the realest cats. I Fawzil out. But the rest of them got natural life without parole or years. It's not even obtainable to you know what I'm saying? But those my guys because they real, bro. They don't, if they was on that yard and that happened, they would have got him off that yard. They gave him an option like, okay, we don't want to hurt our brother, but you got to go. You can't represent this here with us. C.C. Burbank would have did that. C.C. Burbank would have came with like, all right, that happened. You could take 150 face shots or you lock up. You know what I'm saying? He'd have said something crazy like that, 150. Usually it's 5, 10, 7, 3. You know what I'm saying? He'd have came like, you can take 150 face shots from a dude that's 6'8", 300 pounds. Or you could just leave and not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me, and go somewhere else. But other people, they be like, man, I've been jealous with this brother for years. We know him to do that, but he love us. And it put me in a dilemma, like, this particular person, like, he put in work for me without me even asking. Told me, man, you go home, bro. I got this. Got him off the yard viciously. So it puts you in a dilemma, like, damn, bro, a predator, but he got my back to the fullest. Pause. He got my back to the fullest. Damn, he did say he was a sex offender. He did say he was. You get to adding all this stuff up, and you like, man, I got something to think about, homie. Like, I really got something to think about. You dig? But at the end of the day, it's still weird and all that, man. It's weird. You know, hopefully I'd never ever be. I never say never, but hopefully, you know, I'll never be in no situation to where I'm around any of them type of individuals again. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'll never be in that position again. That was some of the worst times of my life, but I learned a lot. You feel me? And if you smart, you're gonna learn from my mistakes and me telling you what it is. You did. I'm talking about peace and blessing be upon y'all. Big 5.
Shout out. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Shout out. Shut the fuck up.
Always. All right.
Shout out to cancelbadcredit.com.